everybody, this is Janie from Janie's Journals. I am working on the pages now for my fairy junk journal, and I'll show you what I have done so far. I've got a few things done. This is kind of the look I'm going for right here. I like the layering of the papers, and I used different colors of ink pads, or I think this is actually paint that I did here to go around the edges. Didn't think about it, but on the back side I guess I need to put a few layers as well. But the book pages I'm using are pretty old and fragile. So I was taking apart this, what is it, Office Procedures book, and I came across this. This is what was holding the cover onto the first signature of pages, and it's this, I don't know what kind of material this is, some kind of cloth that they bound the book with. And I thought, well, maybe I could use something like that to make these pages a little bit stronger. So what I came up with, I have some of this material, and the coloring is about right, and I'll show you here. It rips beautifully. So there we go. So I think I'll be able to use that on here to make the pages a little bit stronger, so that whenever I put my signatures together and I go to sewing in here, I think that'll keep it together better. So we're doing that, and I just collected, I've got a bunch of book pages that are like still connected. I opened the signature up and I pulled them out, and I've got different colors of the pages. This is that Office Practices book. It's got really big long pages, but I thought, well, this will give me like different colors of papers that I can use. And I pulled one music paper. I don't know for sure if I'll use it, but I've just got it sitting here beside me. So that's what I've got. I've got all of these different colored book pages that I can use. And then I've done a few things. Okay, this is some paper. I don't even know what I was doing. Some kind of inking or something. And I went ahead and I glued this to the back side of a book page. And I think this one will be sturdy enough, because this paper's good and thick. I think this one will be sturdy enough that I won't necessarily have to put that banding on here, or that material on here, unless I want to, just because of how it looks. So we'll see whenever I get into more of the bookmaking. This is something I guess I was experimenting with, and I just glued it down on a piece of coffee stain paper that, again, I guess I was experimenting with, because these edges are a little bit crazy. So I've got that, and I found this image. I don't remember if I found this on the internet doing a Google search and checked copyright and everything on it. I'm sure it's fine. I actually think this is a digital, and I apologize. I'm not sure where it's come from, but I'll try to find out. So that's that. And then here a while back, I had ordered this, I guess it's a quilt fabric, or not a quilt fabric, just a fabric. Whoops, hit the camera, sorry. This is fairy fabric that I ordered from Hobby Lobby here a while back, and it came in these little blocks, which I wasn't expecting. But I went ahead and took one of those blocks and did this. I put two of them back to back, and then I have been using, get it out here, this Yes paste to put between my book pages and between this material, and it's made it really good and sturdy. So that's going to be a page in there. And then I have off to the side here just different papers that I can use. These are some I did, tried to do the eco dyeing and it didn't come out so well. I don't know if there was too much iron in the pot I used, but they came out pretty dark looking. That one's kind of neat, the pattern of it is. But I couldn't use it the way it is because it's going to fall apart. So I'm going to have to glue that down to something else. So I've got those. And this is like parchment paper. It's got specks on it from something I was doing. Here's some more of that paper. I guess I was playing with my my sprays. This is an old bag. More of that parchment paper, more of the sprays. These are some that I did, and I liked them so much that I copied these instead of using the originals. So I've got that. Here is another attempt. I think this was not eco dyeing. I think I hammered flowers together, you know, how you put them on there and then you fold it and then you use a hammer and beat them. I think that's what I did here, but it's kind of interesting looking. And then these are also some of that eco dyeing that I tried, and they're pretty dark, but I think in small portions they're gonna look okay. So I'm gonna quit talking and I am just gonna start working on these pages. And if you'd like to, you can put your own music on, get out your stuff, and just go right along with me, and we'll see what we come up with here. I forgot. I do have a couple of book pages set aside over here that are just, they were torn out because the signatures was not, they were glued. So I did tear these out, and I'm going to use these just to make layers, more layers on the pages. So if you see me pulling from the left hand side, that's what I'm getting. If you've never used this Yes paste, it is a really thick, sticky paste. Whenever you start to spread it on your paper, then it becomes almost liquefied. And what I'm going to do here is just spread it on, and I'm not going all the way to the edges because I want to tear those edges. I don't know if you can tell what it's doing there, but it goes from being really thick to being very liquidy. And then line up my book pages. What I'm doing right now is just simply gluing the pages together, and then I will go back in and do my tearing and inking. Do I want to do that though? because that's not how I did this one. And I'm thinking it might be harder to do the edges if I don't do them first. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. We'll try this one. It's not completely dry. Oh yeah. Okay. So tearing this proved to be a huge challenge. So I don't think that's how I will do it. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to go with tearing them down first and then gluing them together. I'm using these pieces mainly because I don't want the pages any thicker than they have to be. I mean, they need to be at least 2 pages thick in order for it to be sturdy enough to put the holes in and get it in the signature. And I want the layered look, but not the bulk. So I'm thinking that if I do it this way and just use strips of the book pages, then this part of the page I will cover with, you know, whatever I'm going to put on that page, and it's not going to add to the bulk anymore. Okay, we're going to try this. Alright, not crazy about this either, because it's a huge mess, and I'm going to have to wait until this dries before I can glue it down to the other page. So now we're going to try directly onto the paper from the ink pad. Let's see if that makes it a little easier. Okay, that does seem to be a little easier. So I guess that's the way we'll go with it. Okay, that's kind of the whole point of doing this, is trying different things. I know what I want the book to look like. I've just got to figure out how I get it that way, because I want it to look like something that has been, you know, sitting in a tree trunk waiting for years for somebody to find it. And I'm not sure how to achieve that look, because I've never seen a book that's been in a tree trunk for years. But we're just going to keep going. I like this image here, especially. I may not use this one. I'm not even sure what the point of that one is, but this one might be nice to put a little fairy down here as if she's talking to that fairy. Okay, so paint is a no-go. The ink pad onto the paper directly, I think, is the way to go from now on. So, okay. These papers are so long. I really think if I cut them this, you know, in half like this, they'll be a little more manageable. And I'm going to tear this, but I'm going to try to keep as much of this edge intact, because I find it very interesting, and I think I'll be able to use that. There we go. Oh, well, there's enough of it left. I find that I'll find something to do with that. I'm trying to vary the sizes of my papers because I want the cover I'm making. If you haven't seen the door that I made for the cover, it's going to be a pretty big sized cover. So I want to make sure that some of the pages are that long.